afternoon. How you doing out there in YouTube land? Well, we're going to be cooking on this bench here, and this had several days to dry good. The wife is doing really good. She's still in the hospital. I just saw her I've been there for a couple of hours, and I just left there a little while ago. And Tommy's out with Dave, the mentor, and my wife is getting fed really good in the hospital. So, I'm going to cook myself a hamburger. That's all I'm going to do, and I'm going to put it on some bread. And it'll be the first time that I cook on this tabletop here. So, gotta get the regulator and everything out. I'll be right back. Okay, I've got the grill warming up here. Okay. Normally I don't want to get the grill out just for one hamburger, but we're going to do that. Tommy eats out when he goes out with Dave. So, I think the grill is hot enough now. What I don't like to do is to put this hot cover down on this paint. You know, this latex paint there, it's drying now, but it feels a little like sometimes you put your hand on it, it feels a little sticky, but not soft where it comes off or anything. But I don't want to put this hot cover down on this. So I think what we're going to do is put a couple of pieces of wood down first. I'll be right back here. Alright, like that. Okay, we go put the burger on. Right in the dead center here. So I'm using the JVC. I can't remember the model number now. It's the one I use for close-ups in the shop. It's a 100 BU or something like that. Not mistaken, I think Doug bought the same one. Very good cameras. The last time I did cooking on this grill, I used the Kodak ZI-8 with the wireless microphone, and it didn't seem to work out too well. You know, it's only a $15 wireless mic, but not really that good a quality. You have to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars for microphones such as what Robert of the Old Bird Farm, BYRD, 140-year-old farmhouse. I've watched his channel a lot. He has a wireless, but those things are hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And what I got is only $15, so, you know, you can't expect much. However, this JVC does not have an external mic input on it, so it looks to me like we're just going to have to work. So I bring in the camera a little closer so you'll be able to hear me. And, like I say, my wife is doing very good. She has a lot of health issues, which I'm not going to get into, but basically she was anemic. She had 2 iron infusions while she was there, and her sugar level was very low, not high, but low, because basically what she does is she takes the same amount of insulin all the time, regardless of, you know, what she eats. So what I can't understand, she was dehydrated too, but she drinks a few bottles of water a day, and, you know, Like at night, she wants a bottle of water, I get her. And then in the morning, she wants another bottle of water. So she's been drinking a lot of water, so I don't know how she could be dehydrated, but I'm no doctor. So, anyways, she'll be there for a few more days. And she's eating really well. She has some infections, urinary tract, I guess, or a verge of another one, I guess. And that could lead to sepsis too, so she's had that a few times. So, all goes well. She should be home in a few days, as far as I know. Like I say, I don't really discuss too much in personal things, but I wanted to give you a little update on that situation, and that's it. So, overall, I think the paint is holding up good. We've got rain last night, quite a bit, and it was wet this morning. And the first thing I did is to go out and I check it, and when it's wet, it feels like sticky, but not so it comes off in your hands or nothing like that. Typical of latex, but it's, I experimented on a small piece of wood that I painted, and when it was wet, I went out there and took my fingernail and tried to scrape it off, and I couldn't do it, so it cured, but I think in time it'll cure more. And this looks more like a very, very light brown rather than redwood. But I wanted to use this type of paint for the top of the rails. And then I'll get the cheap Behr No. 9, which actually shows a more reddish look to it, which is what I want. And I'll just go over the top and the entire rails, including the knobs, with that paint, because that doesn't protect the wood. With this here, usually would protect the wood somewhat more. At least I would think so. So, wife's computer is working good. Of course, she hasn't been on it since Friday night, because Saturday she wasn't feeling good, and she had called the doctor, and like I said on the video description when I was painting the knobs, the doctor called her early Saturday afternoon and said, get down to the hospital. You're anemic and dehydrated, so we had the ambulance pick her up and take her. And that's the story there. So she's getting stronger. She's able to get up today for the first time and go to the bathroom by herself without any problems. So that's good. Her legs are still very shaky, but she is getting better, and I hope the trend continues. So the computer, as I said, is working good. The ironic part was that after everything was working good for quite a while, then the monitor went out. And the power light on the monitor doesn't show anymore. So I turned it on, it went out. But you can see that the new computer, it had the background, so that was there. But it went out, so I had to push the power button again on the monitor. After about 5 times, it stayed on. And it stayed on ever since. But we didn't fool around. We got another one on Amazon. Also a Dell, but it weighs about half as much as the Dell that she had. 19-inch, diagonally. However, The distance from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen is 10 inches on the new monitor and 11 inches on the old one, but it's still 19 diagonally. So it was $80, and it came with the power cord, which I've got plenty of, and the VGA cable. The Dell 790 does not have HDMI out, and none of her computers ever did anyways, and neither did her monitors. And this monitor does not have HDMI. It's a basic monitor, and it looks good. Everything's a little bit brighter than we're used to, and the blacks come out almost like a gray. So I guess there's an adjustment in there. There's 4 little buttons to the left of the power button. So I got paint on me today. Finishing out the little touch-ups here today. So rather than to mess around, I think it's probably got a bad electrolytic in the power supply of the monitor. But with my eyes, I don't even attempt to work on them. And not only that, I have bad luck. Every time I try to fix something like that, just like the AC, we end up buying a new one. These are throwaway electronics. They cannot be fixed. Or you have to put a lot of money into them to get them going. It's not worth it. So that's sitting in the shed. And I probably won't even bother trying to fix it because it's so small and hard to see with the circuit boards and everything that I just give up on them and just put them at the transfer station, which will take old electronics. I tell you, I'm no good at cooking because I have the burgers on the ground. I think that grease on the new paint here. That's not what I want. I think we'll take it off and we'll cut it. Put this back on for now. I like them medium well. I don't like it red and dripping. You want to cook the worms. You want to cook them good. All right, we're going to test it now. Oh yeah. That's the way I like it. Don't have any hamburger buns. Tommy finished it out when he had Sloppy Joes there the other night. But that's all right. We do them on a hamburger bun, on bread. And the best part of the bread, my wife laughs at me about this, is the end. Years ago, I used to go to a restaurant when I was working. And I used to order my breakfast, and I said, do you have the ends of the bread? Oh, we throw them out. Throw them out? I said, that's the best part of the bread. Could you save them for me and make toast with them? So they did that. I'll be right back. I got my beer. Birch beer. You think I drink the real stuff? Nasty. This is what I drink. I drink this, root beer, or cream soda. Years ago, I don't know if you can still get it, Canada Dry cream soda. You used to get it in the bottle when we were a kid. When I'm home alone, I eat simple. Now, if Tommy was home, we'd have a couple of burgers and open up a can of beans. But Tommy's out having his whatever he's going to have when he's out with Dave tonight. He'll probably get back about 8 o'clock. Oh. Last night, Tommy had leftover sloppy joes and he finished out the last one, which is okay. I like them, but he likes them more than I do. And I had a very healthy supper. I had 2 small baked potatoes and a small can of cream corn. I put butter on the baked potato. Real healthy, huh? It's what I like. I don't like cooking. I do this, that's it. Or if I have extra money, I'll go out and get something to eat. I usually do that in the morning, though, for breakfast. Oh. I think, yeah. And set down the grill. Let the grill cool down and put it away. I figured I'd make a video, just flap a little bit. Now, my wife can't stand too long. Her cooking days is pretty well over. I help her out as much as I can. So, rely on TV dinners or deliveries from whatever we order. Problem with TV dinners, you can't get away from the salt. And salt is a thing that she's not supposed to have. I don't like salt. None of us, when my wife was cooking, never cooked with salt. No. When we had our cookouts, there was a salt and pepper shaker there. You put your own salt in. But we don't cook with it. Oh. These have gone up in price. They used to be 2 for $7.50. Now they're on sale for 2 for $10.99 at Home Depot. But this is all we cook with, you know. Sometimes we'll cook with hot dogs out here or burgers most of the time. I gotta remember to take my Arcabuz, which I'm supposed to take with food. Arcabuz is diabetic medication. So, That's about it. I don't have much else to say. It's nice to be able to be out here a little bit. Usually I get bugged by mosquitoes. Yeah. You go up to the hospital every day. Stay an hour or two. Let that cool down. So her computer's working good. I just have to adjust the contrast and brightness. You got that? I don't have the model number. I can't remember things, so if I don't write them down. But they don't even give you a user's manual with it. You don't even get a user's manual. So it don't tell you what the buttons are for. There's 4 little tiny black buttons, and to the right of that is your main power button, which lights up. The old monitor, which I say weighs twice as much, it's a Dell also, 19-inch. That button used to light, but it stopped lighting when it kept going out. But the funny thing is, it stayed on for several days without going out. So, if it was in the power supply, it would go out all the time. On her old computer, I got some RAM, 2 4-gig sticks, and put it in an old one out here with a monitor and a keyboard and a mouse. It came up, showed the background, in less than a minute it went out. Push the power button again, start it up, came on, went out after a minute. So it's not an overheating problem because the thing is ice cold. I mean, it couldn't overheat in just like 1 minute's time. So it's not the CPU. I don't know what it is. You can end up dumping more money into these things. By the time you get through, you put 2 to 3 times as much money into it than you could have got another refurbished computer. So that's the way you do it. There's only one computer shop in our area. It used to be 3 or 4 years ago. And he's expensive. Well, you got $100. You got actually $97.99, I think. So under $100. She's got a refurbished Dell 790, just like she's got. 8 gigs of RAM in it. And it even came with a power cord and a keyboard. You can't beat that. You go to the computer shop, it'd probably charge me $150, $200 to replace the power supply. And if that don't work, well, it's like, you keep throwing parts into it until by and by it works. Maybe. So, You got to use your common sense. Yeah. I think it's time to put things away here. The only problem with this thing is it's not as easy to close up as the old one we had. Lift them out. They're not as easy. They don't like that. Okay. All right. So, I think we're going to end the video. So, I hope you enjoyed the little cooking video. Have a good day, everybody.